Stop playing the game real quick so we can do this.
I want to play.
We're doing this, Beast.
I know, but I'm still gonna listen.
Will you, though?
Yes,
Some tells me you're not.
I'm still gonna.
Let me just edit the videos thing real quick, like thumbnail and shit. And then we'll get started with the topics.
Don't. Oh my goodness. I got killed. Bye-bye, buddy. I escaped.
We're almost ready, guys. Don't worry.
What? How did he find me?
All right, Beast, ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, welcome to episode 6 of the Wrestle stream with Beast. This week is the guest. And boy, do we have some topics for you. We have a bunch of topics for you guys, right, Beast?
Yep.
Now, before we get into the topics, we're going to get into our weekly show reviews. But before we do that, we're going to get into our WrestleMania review.
Okay.
Because I feel like we should review WrestleMania since it happened this past Saturday and Sunday.
You are correct.
All right. So we start off with night 1 with the pre-show. Right? We had Cesaro beating Drew Gulak in 4 minutes. A match I gave 0.5 stars because it was only 4 minutes.
I don't think it's 0.5 because they actually pulled off a pretty good performance in my opinion.
Yeah, but it was only 4 minutes. Also, then we had AC/DC as the hype for the hype package. And then we had the women's tag title match, which Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss beat the Kabuki Warriors, become new champions in 15 minutes, 5 seconds. I gave it 2.5 stars.
I didn't really get to see the match, so I can't really judge it right now.
Then Elias beat King Corbin in 8 minutes, 52 seconds. I gave it 2 stars.
For which match?
Elias Corbin.
Oh. It was a decent. I'm happy that Corbin lost.
Yeah, and then we get the Raw Women's title where Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler in 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I gave it 2.25 stars because, yet again, we're ruining another talent.
Exactly, like, yeah.
And if any of you call Shayna Baszler not talent, get the fuck out. Last time I checked, she has the balls to step in the ring, unlike you.
I think the reason why I don't step in a ring is because I'm not old enough, Maddie.
I'm not talking to you.
Oh. You said, so sorry.
And then Sami Zayn beat Daniel Bryan to retain the Intercontinental title in 9 minutes, 18 seconds. I gave it 2.5 stars.
He was being a freaking coward. He didn't deserve that Intercontinental Championship win. But at least giving him a ring.
Yeah. Next up, John Morrison retains the SmackDown Tag Titles in the ladder match against Jimmy Uso and Kofi Kingston. In a match I gave in 18 minutes, 32 seconds, I gave it 3.25 stars. These three, with the limitations they had, it was originally going to be a tag. However, Miz was unable to compete due to illness. It still was a good match.
And the end was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Then Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins in 15 minutes, 30 seconds. Where I rate 3.25.
The ending when he just dropped right on top of Seth Rollins for the WrestleMania time was, in my opinion, just amazing.
Yeah. Then we get to the Universal title match. Braun Strowman becomes the new Universal Champion by defeating Goldberg in 2 minutes, 11 seconds. I gave it 1 star. Because just finisher. That's it.
It was a big thing for Braun Strowman. It's just they just made the match short and just used finisher.
Yeah, it's a Goldberg match. You have to make it short. And then we get to the Boneyard match. 22 minutes, 25 seconds. Undertaker beat AJ Styles. I gave it 5 stars. And fuck Dave
Yeah,
Meltzer,
by far,
it deserved
I'd
5
say
stars.
That was the best match of night one by far because it was an actual a match that lasted long enough, but not too long, which none of the matches really lasted long.
Yeah, none of them really lasted long, and this was a good cinematic wrestling experience. Then we get to night 2's pre-show. Night 2, Liv Morgan and Natalya fought on the pre-show. I gave it 1.75 stars. It was 6 minutes, 23 seconds.
Which I didn't get to watch.
Then Rhea Ripley lost to Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. 20 minutes, 27 seconds. I gave it 3.75 stars because, first off, Charlotte Flair didn't need this win. And then to learn why Rhea lost made me even more upset.
The match was pretty good, but the ending is what I dislike. Charlotte has already been NXT Women's Champion before. She doesn't need another reign.
I just hope Io Shirai takes that belt. Next up, we had Aleister Black defeating Bobby Lashley in 7 minutes, 16 seconds. I gave it 1.75 stars.
Like, the match with Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black,
It wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great. Aleister Black deserved a better opponent.
Yeah. Then, yeah, but here's the thing. Those matches are guaranteed to be short because they were mid-card matches. Then we get to Otis versus Dolph Ziggler in a match I gave 2 stars, even though it was 8 minutes, 11 seconds. Otis, and that feel-good moment of Otis and Mandy, that was really good.
Yeah, with Mandy coming out and low-blowing Ziggler and attacking Sonya Deville is what I'd say a good part in the match.
Yeah, and then we got the last man standing match between Edge and Orton. I gave it 4 stars. A lot of people said that it sucked because it dragged, but I felt like just take the middle out. It's still a good match. God damn it.
I feel like even though it dragged, it delivered. It was one of those matches that lasted long, but
had
delivered.
A great ending.
With Edge giving
despite the Benoit reference, that it was a good match, in my opinion. Again, fuck you, Dave Meltzer. I'm going to be saying that a lot today. Then we had the Street Profits retaining the Raw Tag Team titles against Angel Garza and Austin Theory. In a 6-minute match, I gave 2 stars.
Which it was gonna happen because, well, the Street Profits know each other better.
Yeah. Also, I believe there was an attack after the match where Bianca Belair interrupted.
Yep, because Zelina Vega.
And then we had a 19-minute 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's title where Bayley retained. I'm sorry, this match should not have gone 19 minutes. I gave it 2.75 stars, but it should not have gone 19 minutes. Just make it go under 10 minutes. It's not a main card match. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then we get to the Firefly Funhouse match. A fun little LSD trip. Very fun LSD trip. I gave it 5 stars. Wyatt beat Cena.
Like, I was just weird. Like, I'm like, what the heck is this match?
Yeah, but then again, I was loving it.
When they brought the little references back to John Cena's past, yeah, that was fine. But the only thing I kind of dislike is how they brought stuff like the NWO stuff and WrestleMania 1 stuff.
What do you mean you disliked it? I love that stuff. That was all. That whole thing was fun.
I just thought it was weird that they did it, even though John Cena wasn't even a part of that.
So what?
Like,
don't you act like Dave Meltzer. No one wants to be Dave Meltzer. Then we get to the WWE Championship match, which I gave. Wait, what did I give it? I gave it 1.75 stars. McIntyre beat Lesnar in what should have happened anyway.
Yeah. But giving McIntyre the WWE Championship finally after what they say 19 years.
19. 19?
That's what they said.
19 years? Think you mean 9 years?
No,
What?
Last time I heard, they said it was 19 years since McIntyre for McIntyre to win the championship.
That makes no sense. Anyway, now we get into our weekly show reviews. Starting off with Raw, where we had Asuka defeating Liv Morgan, a match I gave 2.5 stars. Then the Raw Tag Titles Online, Street Profits defeated Angel Garza and Austin Theory via DQ, so I gave it 2 stars. It was, again, Raw Tag Titles. Bianca Belair came out to help the Street Profits after a beatdown. Bianca said that now she's on Raw. And then her match with Zelina Vega ended in a no contest, 1.5. Then there was a 6-person tag. I gave it 2.25. Bianca and Street Profits picked up the win over Angel Garza, Austin Theory, and Zelina Vega. Now, next up, we had Aleister Black face Apollo Crews, which actually was a really good match. Good. They're actually doing something with Apollo Crews here. Putting on a good match with Aleister.
And then when the match started, I'll be honest, I thought
3.75.
they're going to just bury Apollo Crews here.
No, they actually had him stand a chance almost. He lost, and I gave it 3.75 stars, but he actually stood a chance.
A quick victory, like a black mask and done. But I was surprised that they actually made Apollo Crews fight back and almost win.
Yeah. Next up, we had a recap of Edge vs. Orton. Then we had Cedric Alexander and Ricochet defeating Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. I gave it 1.25 stars.
Yep. Like, I'm glad they're bringing back Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. And putting them in a tag team, I think that they would work perfect as a tag team together.
Yeah, and then we had a recap of Owens and Rollins. Kevin Owens cut a promo. Then Rollins came out to kill a Performance Center trainee. 0.25 stars. And then Nia Jax beat Deonna Purrazzo, 0.5 stars. Why are we burying NXT talent Vince? Then we had a recap of the Boneyard match. Then Humberto Carrillo defeated Brendan Vink, 0.75 stars. Then we had a recap of Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Then we had a recap of McIntyre Lesnar. Then we saw what happened after the match. Like 20 minutes after, McIntyre went back out to cut a promo and then was challenged by the Big Show. So that match happened for the WWE title and McIntyre still won. 1.5 stars. But then we got Impact Wrestling, which I know you don't watch Impact.
Yeah, I don't really watch.
So Willie Mack cut a promo, and then Willie Mack beat the team of Reno Scum, 1.75 stars, and Ace Austin attacked him. Daga fought Chris Bay, where he fell on his face. I gave it 2. Chris Bay defeated Daga in a match I'm giving 2.5 stars. Now, I did fall asleep, and I woke up near the end, so I had to go on Twitter to see highlights. And we got Jessica Havoc defeating Madison Rayne. We had a sit-down interview with Ken Shamrock. We had Rhino and Tommy Dreamer defeating OVE. Kara Hogan defeated Susie. Another Rosemary Bar segment. Another Tenille Dashwood interview. And then I woke up for this match, the Impact Tag Titles online. The North defeated Eddie Edwards and the Impact World Champion Tessa Blanchard in a match I'm giving 3.5 stars. After the match, Michael Elgin attacked Tessa Blanchard. Then we got to NXT. So, we had a 6-woman ladder match. The winner would go on to face Charlotte Flair. We had Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, Mia Yim, and Tegan Nox. Io Shirai picked up the win. I gave it 3.5 stars. Then we had a recap of the NXT UK match between Balor and Alexander Wolf. Then Finn Balor addressed Walter. We got another Killer Cross video package, by the way, Bees.
Okay.
You didn't see NXT?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
And then we had Induce Share, which are those two guys that Malcolm Bivens brought in.
That attacked that Riddle.
Yeah, we had that. Yeah, they beat the team of Everrise, which was basically they tried, but not really that hard. 1.575 stars. Then we got an Adam Cole promo, another recap of Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. Then we had another cinematic wrestling match this week. Our third one, Gargano Ciampa. I gave it 4.25 stars. Gargano picks up the win in their final encounter because of Candice LeRae. 4.25 stars. But I want to point this out. So, as Candice and Johnny Gargano were walking out the building where they fought, you could see in a car Scarlett Bordeaux and Killer Cross in a car watching them walk away. So, take a guess who's coming soon. The Killer Smoke Show are coming soon, people. Then we had AEW Dynamite. Jake Roberts cut a promo. I have to mention Tony Schiavone and Chris Jericho on commentary. Lance Archer defeated Alan Angles, I think his name was. I gave it 1 star because it was another squash match. And then we got Hikaru Shida defeating Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, in a match of giving 2.75 stars. I also want to point out Britt's broken nose. And also want to point out that Chris Jericho said that Britt Baker went from Ace Frehley to Gene Simmons, a reference to Kiss, which you can see behind me. There's 2 Kiss posters. There's even 2 right here as well. There's like 2 Kiss posters right in front of me and 2 behind me that you guys can see. Then we got Kenny Omega, Nakazawa, Best Friends, Orange Cassidy video from earlier in the day. Then we had a Jake Hagar, John Moxley promo package, Sean Spears, Cody promo package. Then we had Best Friends, Kenny Omega, Michael Nakazawa, which I gave 3.75 stars. It was a good match. Then all 4 of them after the match hugged Orange Cassidy. Then Brodie Lee, we had an Exalted One video package. Then we had an interview with Britt Baker, a video package with Jake Hager. And then we had a Matt Hardy promo challenging Chris Jericho to the Elite Deletion match. Which we know what those deletion matches entail, right, Beast?
Yeah.
Then we had Brodie Lee defeating Lee Johnson, a jobber, in a match I'm giving 0.5 stars. Then we had Cody defeat Sean Spears in a match I'm giving 3.5 stars. Cody advances in the tournament for the TNT Championship. Then we get SmackDown results. You ready?
All right, yes.
So we get a recap of Strowman and Goldberg. Then Strowman comes out to cut a promo where Nakamura interrupted. Cesaro tried attacking Braun, and Braun launched him out the ring. Then Nakamura kicked Braun in the head and escaped the ring. That was to start the show. Later, they would have a match, Braun and Shinsuke. Then we had a... No, it was just a normal match. Then we had the WWE Women's Tag Titles on the line again. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss defeating the Kabuki Warriors again. I'm giving it the same as they gave it at WrestleMania, 2.5 stars. We had an Elias performance, which was not interrupted by anybody.
Oh, that's good.
And then we had a recap of Otis and Ziggler at Mania 36. And then we had Ziggler and Sonya Deville come out. But then afterwards, Tucker showed Dolph some pics of Otis and Mandy.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go eat.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I'll be right back.
Son of a bitch. He always does this. He always leaves. I'm dead serious. We had Tucker show pics of Dolph. To show pics to Dolph of Otis and Mandy. And then we had Dolph Ziggler defeat Tucker in a match I'm giving 1.75 stars. Then we had a replay of the ending of the three-way ladder match at Mania 36. Then we had a dirt sheet promo interrupted by the Usos and the New Day. Then we had the Lucha Bros come out. And I'm like, Lucha Bros. Okay, who's coming out to beat their asses? Will we see a return? Who's returning? Instead of returning, how about we get a main roster debut of the Forgotten Sons? Yes, the Forgotten Sons are now on SmackDown. Then we get to the Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross backstage segment where they accepted the challenge of Carmella and Dana Brooke. Well, Nikki Cross did. Then we had a Sasha Banks Bayley promo, which was interrupted by, I was waiting for a debut. I was waiting for someone good, and guess who came out? Tamina. She had no place in that ladder match or in that five-way at Mania to begin with. Why is she all of a sudden getting a push? Why? Tamina hasn't been relevant in years. Why is she getting pushed? It makes no sense. You could at least had someone give main roster debut to interrupt Bayley or Sasha. Why are we giving it to Tamina? She's not even that great of a wrestler. All she could do is a super kick. And she can't even do that properly. We had Nia Jax return on Raw, but why is Tamina getting the big spotlights? Why is Tamina getting all this shit? Why? Why is she getting all of it? Last time I checked, and she said that, hold up. I want to tell you guys something. Michael Cole on SmackDown said that Tamina was very impressive at WrestleMania. Very impressive. I didn't know being the first eliminated in the five-way what counted as impressive. The first eliminated, she's going after the titles again. I'm sorry. Down the ladder you go. No. If I was running WWE, she wouldn't even be near the title. Give it to someone who deserves it. And now if Tamina wins against Sasha Banks next week, which I'm pretty sure she will, sadly, she's getting a SmackDown Women's title match. I can't. You go from being the first eliminated in a match that went over 10 minutes in Mania, which shouldn't have went over. She lasted probably like 5 minutes in that match before getting eliminated. I enjoyed Mania. But the fact that someone who was eliminated first then is getting a push after being first eliminated, I'm sorry. I cannot have that. If I was running the show, I'd tell Tamina that you're not getting this push. I don't care what board directors say. She ain't getting the push. She was the first fucking eliminated. She didn't deserve it. What'd she do to deserve a title shot? What did Tamina do to deserve a title shot? Someone explain to me. Explain to me what Tamina did to deserve a championship match in the first place. could at least made it a 4-way. Or, better yet, just had it be Bayley and Sasha. What was next on the show? Sheamus beat Jobber called Cal Bloom 0.25 stars. Jeff Hardy, fucking Chapter 1, The Rise, we saw that. And then we got Braun Strowman defeating Shinsuke Nakamura in a match I'm giving 2.5 stars. Then we had a Firefly Funhouse segment. Now we know who the next opponent for Braun is, being The Fiend, which I'm all right with. The Fiend never really had a rematch for the belt, so it makes sense. So I can't get over the fact that Tamina's getting shots. An opportunity she doesn't deserve. She's getting an opportunity she doesn't deserve. I mean, come on. What makes her think she deserves it? What makes her think it? Hold on, guys. I broke something. Can I fix this? Probably. Yeah, I got it. Now let's get into our weekly awards. Before we get into our main topics. So, Pop of the Week going to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36. Heat of the Week, Charlotte Flair. Yeet of the Week, Lance Archer. Savage of the Week, or should I say Savages, Miz and Morrison. Jobber of the Week, Denzel DeJournette. Promo, Wyatt. Match of the Week, there's two. The Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match. Both I gave 5 stars. Wrestle of the Week, McIntyre. Bump of the Week, Kevin Owens. Sell of the Week, Shawn Spears of the Figure 4. All right, now let's get into our main topics this week. You guys ready? I don't think you are. Hold on, let me just do all this stuff for next week. We spoke about WrestleMania. Now we're going to speak about the fans upset over the Benoit reference at Mania. Fans and people are upset the fact that during the Edge Orton match, there was a spot where Orton put Edge's head in like a weight thing that goes to a weight machine. I forgot what it's called. And people were upset and immediately go into the Benoit thing, which, unless Vince, who probably didn't see it, saw the Benoit documentary, someone at WWE did and thought that'd be a good idea. And who knows, maybe none of them saw and just did it anyway, and fans were upset and just said something. Which, keep your drama to yourself. No one wants to know about it. Like, I didn't even realize it till people started saying about it. Because I'm sane. All right? I has a brain. Damn it. Then we get the fact that now I'm going to review the Big Show real quick, which is on Netflix. It was all right. If you're not into sitcoms, then you're probably not going to find it good. If you are, then there's a chance you will find it good. There's cameos in one episode with Mark Henry, Mick Foley, and Rikishi. It's an okay show. All right? It's all right. If you're not into sitcoms, like I said, then it won't be for you. All right? Next up, we're going to talk about the Brawl for All, the thing on the thumbnail. Now, the Dark Side of the Ring interview of the Dark Side of the Ring documentary about the Brawl for All had interviews from Vince Russo, Jim Cornette, Jim Ross, Bart Gunn, the winner of it, Charles Wright, aka the Godfather, Darren Drozdoff, aka Draws, Butterbean, and D'Lo Brown for just one thing. So they talk about the creation of the Brawl for All, why it was centered around JBL, and the fact that Vince Russo centered it around JBL because he thought JBL was a bully. And to how the brackets were made, where they just found some guys and just put their names in a hat, and that's how they came up with the brackets for the show, for the Brawl for All. Then we get to how it started. Like, basically the first round. Now, the Brawl for All, everyone knows. Now, all these guys rewatched the Brawl for All. Except, I believe, D'Lo Brown. I don't think he did. Or Butterbean. Now, before we do this, I'm going to state that I want to point out Dr. Death was in this tournament. And for this being a real prize-fighting tournament, it derailed the career of Dr. Death, Steve Williams. It damaged his reputation. It damaged a lot of people's reputations. No one came out of this looking good. Like when Bart Gunn beat Dr. Death, now Dan Severn pulled out after he won the first round because he felt like it'll damage his actual fighting status. Which it would. Thank God he pulled out. Also, Steve Blackman got hurt, so he had to withdraw from the tournament. Now we have Bart Gunn KOing Dr. Death, which really hurt the plans. Then we had gone to the finals between Bradshaw and Bart Gunn. Bradshaw got knocked out. Bart Gunn won. And then Bart Gunn went on to, after the Brawl for All. Now, it was confirmed that the winner of the Brawl for All would get a program with Steve Austin, who was the top guy, meaning top pay. Now, Bart Gunn was sat on his couch doing nothing for, I'm going to say, forever. Until they found something to do with him. They had the great idea. Butterbean, an actual fighter. We got to WrestleMania 15, where the Butterbean versus Bart Gunn match would take place, ended via seconds. Bart Gunn losing, and there went his career, reputation, all of it gone. Then we went to the aftermath. Then we got to the Draws incident where Draws was still in WWE for another year, and then a botched powerbomb paralyzed him. Now we get to the question, was it the worst idea in wrestling history? Obviously, yes, it was. It was the worst idea in wrestling history. Jim Cornette wanted to kill Vince Russo for coming up with this idea. He wanted to kill him. And to be honest, if he did, I don't understand why. I'd want to kill, if I were Jim Cornette, I would want to kill Vince Russo as well. Like, no one came out of the Brawl for All looking good. Not one person. The only person that got a decent push after the Brawl for All was JBL, who was Bradshaw back then. He had a decent push with the Texas Millionaire, but he wasn't getting anywhere as just Bradshaw after participating in it. Worst idea in history of wrestling, hands down. Then we get to the WWE 24 Edge documentary. But beforehand, I want to see if I can invite someone else. Oh, great. He's not. He's the host. And he left to eat. Fuck. We get to the Edge documentary, which is great. It had interviews with Edge, Christian, Beth Phoenix, Tommaso Ciampa, Natalia, Dash Wilder. We'll get into him in a bit. It goes from his retirement, acting, to second surgery. Then he goes to the Celtic Warrior workout where his neck doesn't hurt. That getting cleared. And then, actually, he hid from a bunch of the superstars during the Rumble. Like, before the match at the Rumble, he hid from a lot of the superstars. Until it was almost time for the Rumble match, where he just walked out full ring gear. Aleister Black looked surprised. And to see everyone's eyes open wide. And to finally be in the ring after years away was a feel-good moment for him. And I bet it was. If I had to spend 9 years away from the business only to get cleared 9 years later, I'm returning immediately to see if I can still go. Now, Edge didn't want to go to the Performance Center. He actually asked WWE for a ring, and WWE just gave him a ring to train because he felt like if people at the Performance Center saw him, which they would, they'd know he's getting back in the ring. And Edge retiring was... Edge is my favorite wrestler of all time. He is. Oh, Streambot Elements is now... Stream Elements' bot isn't running now. Yeah. With this, WWE had... With Edge returning, now WWE has another roster member. Also, Edge had gotten actually, after SummerSlam, after that spear, he had gotten contacted by AEW to see if he can go in the ring. He declined that contract because he only did one spear, and then he after this, he wasn't cleared before that spear. He was cleared after the spear. To watch my favorite wrestler get cleared from his injuries, it was a feel-good moment for me. It was a feel-good moment for Edge. I cried during the documentary. I'm about to cry right now. I'm going to try not to. It was great. We then get to Kairi Sane almost being done with the WWE. All right, so after she lost the tag titles at Mania, it's almost been confirmed that she wants to go back to Japan, but she can't at the moment because of the whole, pandemic. Like, You can't do this when you can't go back when you're in America and you want to go back to Japan. I don't think you can at the moment. Yeah, Kairi's saying she's probably done with the WWE. Then we get to this week's main roster debuts, which were the Forgotten Sons and on SmackDown and Bianca Belair for Raw. Those are our main roster debuts. That's it. Moving on. Then we got Jeff Hardy almost fought Goldberg. He almost did. Yeah, with Roman Reigns not being able to compete, Jeff Hardy was almost the original plan, and then Jeff Hardy would have lost. But Braun Strowman was there, and he didn't have plans. So Braun Strowman versus Goldberg was actually happened. Jeff Hardy almost happened, but again, Jeff Hardy wouldn't even stand a chance with Goldberg. Then we get to the Revival being officially released by the WWE. The Revival have been trying to get released for God knows how long. They've been trying to leave for God knows how long. And now that they finally have been, they can go to AEW if they want. As of yesterday, the Revival had been released by the WWE. Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, both gone. They can move on. Then we get to the reason why Rhea Ripley lost at Mania. Now, Rhea Ripley, actually, this confirms that she was supposed to win, but because of this, she had to lose. Rhea Ripley's work visa in America had expired, so now she's back in Australia because she can't work in America if her visa didn't expire. So now she's back in America, in Australia. Rhea Ripley back in Australia because her work visa had expired. That's the reason why she lost. People are still pissed, though. Again, wrestling fans are the worst, I swear to God. Especially this so-called fan that I'm about to talk about. Dave Meltzer. I'm about to explain why I hate him. This is the last topic, guys. I'm explaining why I hate Dave Meltzer. Who is he to rate matches? If we think a match is 5 stars and he doesn't, that's fine. You don't think a match is 5 stars? We think a match is 5 stars. That's our 5-star match. We will go back to that match and like it more. The fact that you feel the need to rate matches is a dick move. We don't care you work for the Wrestling Observer newsletter or whatever you work for now. You shouldn't be allowed to rate matches. There are plenty of matches out there that deserved 5 stars. Styles Nakamura back in New Japan deserved 5 stars, in my opinion. Sami Zayn and Nakamura deserved 5 stars back in TakeOver at the end. And you say no. You say no. There's a few matches on that list where you get 5 stars that I don't agree should get 5 stars. I agree David Starr and Jordan Devlin was 5 stars. I agree the Okada-Omega matches were the greatest matches in history. But the fact that you think that a tag match that ended in no contest was 5 stars and was, how long was it? Hold up. I'm about to go right back to I'll come back to you real quick, sir. At right now, there's a certain tag match on here. This one at Real World Tag League for All Japan Wrestling. Which one was it? Which tag match was it? It was a certain match that I wouldn't agree got 5 stars. Sure got 5 stars. I'm trying to find out which one it was. In my opinion, no contest should be are the biggest dumb endings in wrestling history. Dave, who are you to rate matches, by the way? Why should you be the one rating matches? If anything, Dave Meltzer is one of the worst people in the that's one of the worst people ever. He gets heat on him all the time, I swear. Not only that, the fact that he's the one rating the matches shouldn't be allowed. No observer should rate matches, in my opinion. If you want someone to rate the matches, then no one should rate matches. If we think a match is 5 stars and you don't, that's fine. That's our opinion, damn it. It's our opinion. You don't get to rate our opinions. In my opinion, Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan was 5 stars. What did he give it? Not 5 stars. Motherfucker. I feel about you, Dave Meltzer, the same way Jim Cornette feels about Vince Russo. Just like how Jim Cornette wants to kill Vince Russo, I want to kill you. You don't know how much. I don't like journalists as is. You think the fact that you rate matches makes you better than everyone? Dave, I'm going to ask you this one time. Stop rating the business I love. Stop. You shouldn't even dare to rate the business I love. Don't ever think that it's all right to rate matches. If the fans want to rate a match, they can rate a match. You shouldn't. We shouldn't have to base our opinions on just you. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to rely on just you. The fact that a lot of people base their opinions on you pisses me off. There's a reason why some matches that you haven't rated 5 stars, I've rated 5 stars. That's the fact that I think they're 5 stars. You may not think they are, but I think they are. Why shouldn't they be 5 stars? If they're 5 stars in my heart, then they should be 5 stars to me. I shouldn't have to base my opinions off of you. Stop rating the matches from this business. All right, that's the end of the Wrestle stream. Again, Dave Meltzer, fuck you. So we'll see you fellas next week. Hopefully. Unless Dave Meltzer is a salty bitch and decides to try and erase my opinion from history. Which, again, see you guys next time. Beast is still leaving.